Hey, Lauren here. I'm at Galvanize in Boulder today and wanted to chat a little bit more about. We did a long series on some investing opportunities that I'm currently viewing, and I wanted to specify why I say I only do luxury rentals at this point. I didn't start off that way. I actually started off with a unit that was worth about $100,000. And well, back at that time, we were getting rents around 1,500. So we were at about 1.5% of the monthly rent divided by the value of the home. Now, my husband also spent twice that amount of money on it, but that was back in 2008. And so a lot of people were in a little bit of a conundrum. But since then, I've had many properties and have decided that I like luxury rentals, and I usually mostly only do luxury rentals now. And it's not because I get the best numbers for it, but I get the most amount of money for my time that way. So my numbers are a little bit off, or they're lower than they used to be in like I call them the entry-level zones, or kind of the $200,000 zones if we're in Colorado. Now, other places in the country are a lot cheaper. Colorado is getting rather expensive. It's like welcome to California. But now I do luxury, and I define that as anything over $3,200 a month, or I think my cheapest rental will be about $4,000, but I'd be open to $3,200. The reason being is kind of my time is money, and I value my time, and also the amount of issues. I've noticed I get the same amount of issues with someone that rents at $1,000 a month compared to a person that rents at $6,000 a month, and so I get more bang for my buck, or more revenue out of it. Now there's a lot more risk with those because if you have to evict a $6,000 person, it's costs you 6 times as much as a $1,000 person. But I've also, for just kind of mental health reasons, I don't do much in the non-luxury, and that's just because it breaks my heart if I have to evict someone, and it tends to be on the lower range of the rentals that I work with. It tends to be single parents, and or any type of parent with kids, or even dog parents. I just don't like having to evict those people, and I'm not in a position to where I can just pay their rent. That would make me happy, but I'm not in that zone. So I tend to deal with luxury, and I've actually had to put an eviction notice on a luxury rental, and that was well, I'll tell you more about the stories with that one. I needed a police escort for that one, mostly because the doors were actually kicked in. Maybe some anger management issues, but anyway, that's kind of my story and why I've gone with the luxury rentals only. And it's just because the same amount of time is needed for a $1,000 rental as a $6,000 rental, and I still have to deal with evictions, but people in that luxury market, they tend to have somewhere else to go. Compared to the other end of the spectrum, and it works out better for me. And it's just after 12 years, this is just what I do, and that's where I've brought the company. But the numbers are not as good, and if you can rinse and repeat in that lower end, that you can make a lot more money doing it. It's just not my cup of tea, not for me. So thank you guys. If you ever have any questions, investing is such a dynamic zone. It's not a one size fits all. So if there's any questions, my door is always open.